Hello and welcome to a new Tech Tuesday. We're so glad that you're joining us today. Today we have a really special Tech Tuesday for you. It's a really exciting one, in my opinion, because today we are talking about Canva, and we have with us Monica Martinez. She is a Canva learning consultant, and she's going to be talking about some of the cool magic features inside of Canva. So we've been really excited about this, and we just welcome you joining us today, whether you're here live or you're watching later on YouTube. With that being said, I'm going to hand this right over to Monica. So, Monica, take it away.
Thanks, Josh. All right. Well, like Josh said, we are going to be talking about Canva's magic features. So thank you for being with us here. Those who are live, thanks. And those of you watching, here we go. Really quick, just again, my name is Monica Isabel Martinez. I'm a Canva learning consultant, and I oversee all of our Texas accounts. I provide professional development to the state of Texas, which, as you can imagine, is quite a bit of districts. But I also support even beyond that when we're supporting our other colleagues, with any kind of professional development that is needed. But I have a long history with Texas. I've been in education for over 25 years and have actually worked with your district back in the day when I was working at TCEA. And so it's just really nice to now get back to work with y'all under the Canva for Education umbrella. In case you're on social media, my accounts are on the screen. This is just a really great way for us to get connected. I'd love to follow you and see what you're posting. If you are posting content that is related to Canva, like let's say projects or maybe something you've created, please do tag us. It's just such an easy way for us to find your content that way, and we'd love to amplify it, but also to be able to share it with others. We often come across teachers that are looking for inspiration or teachers that just want new ideas. And this is such a great way for us to be able to show them real life, real world examples of what's being done in other classrooms. So again, please do tag us, and you can also use the 3 hashtags you see down there: Canva EDU, Canva Love, and Canva Tips. So share that Canva love. We'd love to see what you're posting. Now, whether you're a 1 as far as your comfort level with the use of Canva, or even specific to Canva Magic, you're going to see that even at a level 1, you're going to be able to leverage and use these tools tomorrow. They're that simple to use. But if you've been using it for a good while, you're going to notice too, some things have changed. And so I am going to actually highlight a couple of things as we move along. But the idea behind today is that you leave after this session with more knowledge on how to leverage those magic features. So we're going to kick this off with a little bit around what is Canva for Education, especially as it relates to magic. And then we're going to jump right in and take a look at those magic features. So let's get going. All right, so when it comes to your Canva for Education account, one of the biggest things to point out, especially as it relates to the magic features, is that you get all of these pro features free of charge within your Canva for Education account. Others that are not in the education space do have to pay. They have to upgrade to have access to these features. In addition to that, you're going to see that even things that everybody has, like the translation feature, you get more quantity within your Canva account than somebody would if they're not in an education type of account. You get access, of course, to all of the different applications that are within this visual platform. That includes docs and whiteboards, presentations, of course, social media. There's a lot that I think a lot of folks do in the social media, like banners and posters and things like that. We have a video platform, a website platform, and across all of these platforms, you're going to be able to leverage the magic features. So they're accessible and available within all of these different tools, which is pretty exciting because you can do a lot of really cool things. So before we get started and before I show you those things, I just want to kind of highlight a little bit here Canva's approach to AI, and then also show you just sort of a sneak peek video that's going to highlight some really cool things. But what I think is really cool here is that it's not about AI just taking over and doing everything, but instead, it's really taking into account you as the educator that has the knowledge, being then a collaborative partner in that creative process with the machine, with AI. So AI is going to help us accomplish, but we're dictating what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So we need to know how to ask the right questions, how to deliver the prompt so that it gives you exactly the right results that you're looking for. And we're going to learn a little bit of that today. But before we do, as promised, here's a sneak peek into all the different kinds of things that you can do.
Are you ready to try your very own AI-powered teaching assistant in Canva? Magic Write is available for teachers and teaching staff in Canva for Education right now. Let's try it out. I want some lesson ideas for a 5th grade math class that will be relevant and fun for students who love basketball. Wow, they're going to love it.
Now, I need to make some lesson content for my 7th grade science students. How about a presentation about precipitation? What a time saver!
How about a brainstorm, though? Let's spark some creativity in our art history class. Nice!
Create easy, medium and hard activities to teach 2nd graders about the solar system.
Give me 10 story starter ideas for a grade 12 English class.
Adapt this text so my 3rd graders can understand it.
Create 3 math problems for grade 8 geometry students.
Design a low budget science activity for 6th graders.
Whoa! The possibilities are endless. Try Magic Write and Canva for Education today.
All right, so that was just a really quick sneak peek. Let's go ahead and dive in. So I'm going to pop out here and I'm going to go to my home page. So I recommend you do the same to be able to leverage some resources and some things I'm going to share with you. So over on the left-hand side, so this is a new look and feel. If you haven't been in a Canva in a while, you're going to notice that it looks different. This is part of the Glow Up. And because the Glow Up is so new, it just happened in the summer in July, they still have this section right up here that says, see what's changed. And one of those items happens to be this one, the 3rd one that says Meet Magic Studio. I highly recommend you come in here and snag this resource. It is a deck that has 12 different pages of content that's going to show you basically what you saw in that video, but it's going to break it down for you one slide at a time. So it'll show you the background remover, which we'll jump into here in just a second, the magic grab, and then there's magic media and so forth. So you've got some different items in here that you can get directly from there. And again, that's from your home page. So let's go back home right here in that second column where it says, see what's changed, and it is number 3 on the list. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and I'm going to come back home because what I want to do next is I'm going to jump into a template so we can use a template as the example to showcase some of the magic features and move that way. So I'm going to go to templates on the left, and I'm going to, in this middle section, select presentations so that it can filter the search results by just presentations. And I'm going to further filter by going into theme and selecting education and school. So this is typically the way you would be filtering to find very specific types of content that you're looking for. It just happens that what I want is a presentation, which is why I've done it this way. Now I'm just going to come down and I'm going to select any one of these items here. When you click it open, it pops open a window like this, where we can then click on the customize this template purple button there. And now it's going to open up that presentation for us so that we can use this to be able to do a couple of things. Now, we can pretend here that this is the lesson I've created from scratch, or maybe I uploaded a Google slide deck that I had previously already created and I had a lesson on, and I downloaded that and then uploaded here into my Canva account. And yay, here's my lesson, right? But what I needed again was something with content so we can do all kinds of cool things here. So right now in this example, it says writing informative or explanatory text. So this is an ELA year 11 and year 12 lesson. What we're going to do is we're going to enhance this lesson with some graphics and some images and things like that. So let me just kind of take a peek here. Yep, there's no images yet on this one. So I'm going to create a new slide just to give us the ability to add some images. Now I'm going to go over on the left-hand side and go to elements. And I'm going to look for my images. So I'm going to scroll down until I get to photos. I'm going to click on see all. And then here is where you would type in whatever it is that you'd be looking for. You could actually type it in and then bring it over onto the page. So it just depends on what it is that you're studying maybe in this class. So it's totally up to you. I'm just going to stick to one of the items that popped on here. I'm going to say duck. There is, yeah, let's grab this little guy. All right, again, this could be exactly what it is that you need. You can also upload your own images and do exactly what I'm about to do. So I've brought over this picture of a duck. I'm going to click on background remover so that I can get rid of all of the background content, because maybe I want to be able to use that particular duck in a slide that goes along with my content. Maybe we're covering, I'm going to scoot it down to fix the error on the bottom. But if we wanted to bring it over into something like this, it no longer has a background. And if this was a, maybe a lesson or something that we're covering on ducks, then there's our duck that is now a part of this particular page. But by simply removing the background, it's allowing us to lay on top of something else. So having, sort of some overlays of content, right? All right, let's come back over here, and I'm just going to click undo to get my background back. All right, so the other thing you can do, there's way more than just remove background when it comes to your images. I'm going to select my image, and I'm going to go to edit up at the top. You have what's called Magic Studio that's going to allow you to, yes, definitely remove background like we did already. You can do a magic erase if there was maybe just one little thing that you wanted to erase from this picture, but not necessarily an entire background. You could actually select the items you want to erase. One of my favorites is Magic Grab, because it completely has changed the game, especially if you've ever done any kind of photo editing where you had to grab a portion of an image. It was always, really time consuming and cumbersome, because you had to get really close and then grab every little pixel. And then if you messed up, you had to go back and remove those extra pixels. Like, it just took a long time. And now with these magic features, you saw all I did was click once. I'm going to click now over here, the purple button that says grab, to grab that duck, and it's going to separate it from its background. So it's able to really find sort of these focal points in an image and then separate them from whatever else is on that image. In this case, it's the duck just with its background. And so I'm going to end up with two different image files, which is going to allow me to be able to resize or move the duck. So I can actually grab the corner here and resize it, make it a lot smaller. I can, aside from resizing, I can actually move this and place it somewhere else on the picture. And you can see that the picture behind it there is completely intact. So it's allowing me to actually completely change and move this. I could remove the entire duck, let's say, because maybe I just don't want the duck at all. And I want to bring in a completely different duck. So let's say we bring in maybe this one here. And now I place this one in that particular image, which now has drastically and completely changed what this image is all about, right? So it's giving you sort of that flexibility of things to be able to do. I'm going to come back over and add a new page, because I want to show you that the magic erase, the background, is also available for video. And I'm just going to stick to, I did this in the first one. I went and did a search for space. They're right there, recently added. And so I've dropped in a video of just space, right? So we can see, kind of the movement there. But now what I'm going to do is bring another video clip, and I'm going to overlay this one, right? And so this person has a headset. So what I want us to experience here is us looking at what she's looking at in the VR headset. So just to kind of get a feel for what she's looking at, which is space. That's the first video clip that I dropped in. But obviously, when I place her on top, because she has a background, you cannot see what's behind it. So we're going to leverage that same background remover that we did earlier with the photo, which now gives us this. Right? This is the end result. So when we put this into presentation mode, you now are going to end up with the two video clips, one on top of the other. And in this case, we are able to now see what she sees, or at least pretend to anyway, right? But it's really cool, because I love the fact that you can completely recreate a scene based on what you're looking for by simply leveraging those particular tools that allow you to remove background. So no more need for a green screen, which I think is pretty amazing, because before that was, such a big thing, right? That we always needed. So big win there, in my opinion. All right, so let me go back. I'm going to close this out. The reason why I brought in a template, right? It was this ELA template that we brought in. The reason why I brought it is because I wanted to show you a couple of things. Let's say we had fully fleshed out this entire lesson. Again, it could be a lesson you've created or maybe one that you've uploaded from Google Slide Deck, etc. We can now do a couple of different things here. Up at the top, using your magic feature called resize, it'll allow you to basically take this particular slide deck and convert it into, for example, a document, allowing your students to maybe have a doc version of your lesson where they can now take notes. Or perhaps they use that to add additional things for their review, or if, you know, they're going to study for an exam or something. It could be a lot of things. Like you could actually convert this into a doc for the purpose of making it a workbook and adding guiding questions and things like that, that your students are then going to use the doc to, you know, answer those questions and all that kind of stuff. So totally up to you, but know that you have a lot of options here when you go into resize. You can do a report, which is what we're going to convert to in a second. You can also do social posts if you want in those sizes. You can even do a video version of this where it'll basically loop and play from one slide to the next and so forth. So some really good options in here. We're just going to go ahead and select report, and we're going to click on copy and resize. The reason why I'm selecting that option is because I want to keep my original presentation and I want a copy of this as a document. So I'm going to click on that purple button and I'm going to let it do its thing. While it's doing that, know that you can also go the other way around. If you have your lesson maybe fleshed out, or maybe some activities or some content already in a doc, and you want to convert that and make that into a presentation, you don't have to do it. You can actually ask the magic resize tool to do it for you. So let's take a quick look. We're converting currently a presentation into a doc. So let's open up our doc here, and you're going to see here's the doc version of that presentation. It's going to have everything, including my videos and my images that I was playing with earlier. But all of this content is completely editable. So your students can come in here, continue writing, completely change what it says if they needed to. They can leverage this as, again, like I said, their workbook, or perhaps it's where they're taking notes. You're already sort of giving them the headings and all of the main bullet points, and then they can take extra notes. They could even share this with, you know, their peers if they're working in groups, and then collaboratively take notes, or, you know, edit and so forth. So really big win. Here's the doc just to show you. So all the stuff is on here that we had. Oh, I scrolled too fast. That we had in the presentation. So really, really love this feature. Again, you can go the other way around from a doc. I can click resize and completely convert that document into a presentation. So this is going to be the case across all of your different tools. You have that resize button, take advantage. All right, in addition to the resize button, one of the things that I have found really, really valuable, that's gone a long way, I think, for a lot of teachers really, is the translation feature. This is also a part of your pro features that you get free of charge. So when I come here and select writing, for example, you'll see this little bubble right above it. There are 3 little dots I can click on, and in that drop-down menu, you're going to scroll all the way down, and the last option is called Translate Text. So I'm going to click on that, and because I'm in a slide deck and I have multiple pieces of text on this first slide, it's allowing me to select whether I want to select all of those text boxes, or maybe just one of them. Or in my case, what I want to do is actually go to translate pages. So I actually want to translate my entire presentation here, which is 14 pages long. I'm going to drop down this menu, and yes, you could certainly select just page 2 and 5 and 6 if you wanted to, but you can also select all pages up here at the top. I'm going to click on done. And then we, of course, have to select our language. You have 100 languages to pick from. I'm going to select Spanish. And you'll notice you can even change the tone of voice. If you knew this was maybe a deck that you're sending home, maybe this is a newsletter and you want to inform parents and guardians of the content here that's really important for them. Maybe it's like a newsletter type thing. You could make it conversational or less informative, maybe more friendly, etc. Or, you know, whatever you'd like. You can certainly change the tone of voice in the text that's on there. We're going to leave it at original. I'm going to go up to settings, and you have a couple of options here. I really like this, the reduce fonts to fit. If you've ever translated content, you know this well, that when you're converting something that's in English like this, it says informative or explanatory, might take 3 or 4 words in Spanish to say exactly what it says in English. And so being able to reduce the font size is nice because it begins to adjust itself so that you don't have to do too much editing after the translation has been done. The second option is for really supporting your students. If you need to differentiate instruction for your students, especially struggling readers, you're able to duplicate to where you have page 1 in English, page 2 is in Spanish, which is the equivalent of page 1. Then page 3 in English, page 4 in Spanish, et cetera, et cetera. So I really like this option too, really nice. And then lastly, mirror page to match text. That's if you're using languages that read right to left instead of left to right. So we're going to leave that as is. I'm going to click on translate. I want you to know that you get up to 500 translations every 30 days with your Canva for Education account. That's not the case for everyone. So big win once again for education here. 500 translations, meaning I can use up to 2 or 499. It doesn't matter. In those 30 days, it will reset to another 500. So here's the end result. Let me X out of here so we can see this in its full glory. Page 1 is in English. Page 2 is in Spanish. You can see it adjusted itself there a little bit. We move over. Let's skip those. Don't have any text. Let's go to 7. Here it is in English. And then here it is in Spanish. You'll notice some of these adjusted the font size to fit within the boxes. So it does a really nice job. Otherwise, I'd be spending all that time trying to fix all of that. So really beautifully done. I absolutely love this feature. And yes, in case you're wondering, can you translate docs? Can you translate other content? The answer is absolutely yes. The steps are exactly the same. You highlight one section of text, you go to the 3 dots, select translate text, and you can tell it what exactly is it that you're having it translate for you. Okay. All right. So definitely take advantage of the translation feature. It is huge. Again, big fan myself of using that instead of having to do it. I used to do it all myself before. So it's really nice to have that feature there. All right, we are coming short on time here. We're almost up. I've got to show you the Magic Write feature. It is one of my favorites. I use it all the time. Big time saver and just a huge big win, I think, when it comes to sort of getting that time back that we've been asking for a long time. But more than that, really having sort of this like this system, this again, partner in the collaboration process that I mentioned earlier. Something that's going to help us sort of generate new ideas and ways in which we can teach the content that we love to teach. So here's my document that I've opened up. You can open up a doc directly like you saw from your home page. And what we're going to do here is come up to Magic Write, and it pops open this window. And this is where we're going to ask it. We're going to give it a prompt. So for example, I can say, write a lesson plan on, let's say, Macbeth for 10th grade ELA. Include 3 guiding questions. So maybe discussion questions, things like that. Guiding questions and 2 activities. If you do have a standard that you want to meet, just get the definition of the standard, and then you can paste that in here and say address the following standard and then paste it in, and it will actually do that for you. We can even tell it to, in these activities, to actually differentiate the activities for different levels. So we could say in 2 activities, 1 easy and 1 hard. And you can give it more and more detail. But that's the gist of what we're doing there. But I was pretty specific. I told it exactly what it is that I wanted. And then it's going to flesh it out, as you can see here. And typically it gives you extra things, which I think is really cool. If you don't like those, you can always delete them. But here is our Macbeth 10th grade lesson plan. So it's got my objective up there at the top. Students will gain an understanding of the main themes, characters, and plot of William Shakespeare, et cetera, ... It gives us our materials. Here are our guiding question. How does Shakespeare use the motif of ambition to develop Macbeth's character throughout the play? And then you've got a second and a third guiding questions. Here's my easy activity. It's a character analysis chart. And then a hard one that is a thematic essay. And then it gives me some ways in which I can assess. So it tells me participation in group, discussions and activities, completion of quality of character analysis chart, quality and depth of analysis. You can even ask it to, from this content, create a rubric for you based off these activities that you have on here, in case you want to provide the students with a rubric so they have an idea of, you know, kind of what they're doing. And here's the extras, right? The homework and closure, again, giving me extra things that I didn't necessarily include right away. So again, I like that this is helping us accomplish all of that without us really having to, you know, sometimes we have all these ideas, but then we sometimes get stuck. And so just having it generate additional ideas for us, I think is really great. And two, fleshing it out for us, allowing me to come back and be able to say, okay, I really like this, but give me more. So let me show you. I'm going to highlight this bullet point. I'm going to click on the plus, and I'm going to say expand, so that it expands on that. So I basically want more. It says participation in group discussion and activities. But what does that mean? Like, give me more detail. Whoa, it gave me more detail, probably more than what I wanted, right? Like, so you can always come in, delete. But yeah, we now have a lot more of how we're going to assess our students based off these items here. So you get the idea there. I hear a voice. Is there a question? No? We good. I thought I heard something. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit of magic, right? Let me come down here towards the bottom. I just wanted to share one other thing here. I'm going to go back into the plus. In addition to lesson content activities and things like that that you can do for your classroom, you can also ask it things like write an email to a parent about the upcoming, let's say you're hosting an event or something, or maybe you're doing a gallery of work of your students, you're inviting them to come, etc. So about the upcoming event to be hosted at, I'm just kind of making this up here, on October 2nd from 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. There'll be drinks and snacks. Encourage parents to come with their kids. One last thing I want to point out here that is really good is telling it the tone of voice to you. So I can say, make the email exciting and inviting. So you're going to see that it's going to use certain keywords that, you know, just kind of really give it that flair for the email. And this is the kind of thing that would, I mean, you saw it took me less than a minute, it took me seconds to write the prompt, versus this email would have taken me easily 15 minutes maybe to kind of craft it and, you know, write it the way I want it. Let's just take a peek here. So subject, join us for an exciting event at Galena Park High School. Already it's like an exciting event, right? Dear parents, we're thrilled to invite you to a special event at Galena Park High School on October 2nd from 3:30 to 5 p.m. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to connect with our school community and enjoy a delightful afternoon with your children. You see, that's why using sort of that language of make it fun and exciting or whatever, you're telling it in the tone of voice, it truly does adhere to that. Obviously here we would come back in and edit and, you know, kind of just tweak what we might need to, but it's pretty much done most of the legwork there for you. So really, really like that. Please, I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope you like the features, but please take advantage of those. Remember that resource I shared with you earlier. Make sure to leverage that. And in addition to that one, I want to show you this one last here. Let me just put this in presentation mode so you can see it better. This particular QR code or bit.ly down there at the bottom is going to give you access to an entire full slide deck, more than what's in that first one that I showed you. That's got all of the magic stuff in it. Basically everything I showed you plus more. And so take down that link or scan in that QR code to get to that resource. But between the two, you're pretty much going to have everything you need to dive in. Thank you so much for being here with me in this session. And I hope you enjoy the magic features that Canva has.
Absolutely. Thank you, Monica. And thank you everyone for joining. We will see you on the next Tech Tuesday.
Thank you so much.